Rock Chat with Trace.
This podcast I'm talking to Stevie Westwood, who is in the band Bad Touch, and Rob, who is in the band Piston. First up is Stevie. Hello Stevie, and thank you for doing the podcast.
You're quite welcome. Hello, how you doing?
Who are your influences?
Oh wow, straight to the point. I like that. We as a band, we've got loads of influences. You know, everyone's different. They're all their own people, but sort of collectively, we love people like Zeppelin, obviously. Sabbath, as I'm rocking today. But more recently, like the Rival Sons, Temperance Movement, Black We Smoke, Blackstone Cherry, all of those kind of guys, the kind of groove rockers. That's where we're at, and we love it.
When did you first decide you wanted to be a singer?
This is the honest truth, and I haven't actually told many people this, but when I first did my first band in like high school, it's just the fact that the other guys didn't really want to do it, and I couldn't really sing either. And it's literally a learned thing. I certainly would not have, you know, what anyone would call natural talent. I had to sort of learn how to sing. But yeah, ever since I started, I loved it. I loved playing down pubs, just doing acoustic open mic nights and stuff. And I was lucky enough to find the guys in Bad Touch, and here we are.
How did the band form?
The guys, the two guitar players, Rob and Seeks, went to school together. They played guitar in school together. They sort of, met similar minds in Bailey and George along the way through various musical efforts and disbanding and all that stuff. So they found them, and then I was the sort of last piece of the puzzle. They were looking for a singer, and here we are, 10, 11 years later.
Kiss the Sky is your fourth album. How does it vary to your previous albums?
Well, we recorded at Rockfield, which was a huge thing for us to go to this amazing studio where people like Oasis and Queen and whoever recorded there. It's certainly by far and away, we put the most time, effort, blood, sweat and tears into it with regards to both the songwriting and our attitude towards recording. We were sort of very cutthroat. No, okay wasn't good enough. It had to be stellar. We like to think that the album is stellar, and we owe a lot to Brian, our producer, and the Rockfield team. Yeah, we love it. We love it.
How was it recording the album at the Rockfield studios?
Absolutely mental. It was absolutely mental to be in place of such, gravitas. I sat at Freddie's piano, Freddie Mercury's piano that he wrote Bohemian Rhapsody on, and I'm sitting there and I can't play piano, and my head's exploding, and it's just like, what? And and they had so many stories, and it really did kick us up a gear. And I really think some of the magic found its way onto Kiss the Sky.
How would you describe its sound?
It's us. It's 110% Bad Touch, and it's big, it's ballsy. It's got it's got brass sections. It's got beautiful Katie on vocals as well, giving us that kind of Black Crowes choir vibe. I personally, speaking from me, absolutely adore it, as you can tell, and I know the guys think the same. We love it. It's everything that we've always wanted to sound like. We thought we sound like in our heads, but on CD,
How would you describe the lyrics?
I don't know. The words. I mean, we wrote them together. How would you describe them? They're not Shakespeare. They're not going to win any novel awards, but they come from a really honest place. They come from us five blokes, not all me. We all have a hand in writing the words, and they come from a really honest place about honest feelings that we hope can connect with anyone.
Will there be any more single releases?
We're working on it as we speak. Obviously, this year's gone a bit upside down, back to front, inside out, as everyone knows. But yeah, we've got some stuff in the pipeline. I can't say too much at the minute, but we've got something really special coming out soon. So
I Got the Music in Me. Why did you record that song?
Oh yeah, that's a very valid question, because it is in fact Kiki D's song. We love the track. We just absolutely love the track, and we were kind of listening to it. It's been on our kind of iPods for like years, and we kind of went, we could have a good go at this. We could really do this Bad Touch style and like throw it in the dirt, stomp on it, rub some sex into it, and sort of really give it the kind of rock and roll feel-good treatment. And we like to think that we did that.
Are you planning on making the next new album?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I know we're 4 albums in, and we're not the sprightly, angry, young, hormonal teenagers that we used to be, but we're all still great mates. As soon as this whole pandemic thing, we sort of get our heads around that, then we're going to be back out on the road when it's safe to do so, and we're going to be going for as long as our hearts, our souls, and our bank accounts allow us to.
How was it supporting the choir boys?
Oh, amazing! They're great lads. They're genuinely, honestly, we owe so much to them. They gave us one of our first tours as a young band, and they kind of really showed us the ropes of how touring works, how to not get in the way, how to be on time. They really, and the style as well. These guys have been doing it for a while now, and they're just 110% style and skill, and yeah, we love them to bits, and we owe them a great deal.
Can you tell me about your tour next year?
Well, the tour that never was, but is coming shortly. Yeah, it's going to be a serious tour for us because I mean they're all serious, but we have had so much trouble getting on the road this year. We scheduled it for April, moved it to September, and now it's moved full circle to April again next year. So that's going to be 12 months of preparation, 12 months of saving ourselves up and getting ourselves pumped up, and it's going to be completely electric, and we cannot wait to be there with all you guys. It's going to be a tour to remember.
Who are you touring with?
Piston are our boys. They're quite kindly coming with us, and they've agreed every time we've rescheduled it. They're like, yeah, boys, no, whatever, we'll come whenever you need us to. So we owe them a great deal of thanks for that. We love them. We've been friends with them for years, and we know that they're going to make us step it up each night on the tour. They're not a band to trifle with, and as I say, we're really happy to have them on the tour. Plus, there's going to be loads of local opening acts. I can't reel the name, all of them, but thank you to all those guys who are with us as well, who have confirmed for the April tour. And I say it's going to be well worth the ticket price.
Any pre-show rituals?
Pre-show rituals, other than maybe having a pint of beer, loosen out, doing the normal stuff with a couple of la 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 la's, all the old vocal warm-ups. Yeah, no, not really. We're fairly dull. We're the least rock and roll band you'll ever find. We kind of just sort of warm up and maybe have a can of lager and then go do what we do.
What have you done to keep yourself busy during lockdown?
I'm literally working right now. That's why missed the interview at the start. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, we're just doing lots of stuff. I've been doing like these things called the isolation sessions, which is where me and sometimes the other bands sort of come in and we just do a cover of a track just to keep our fingers in. But yeah, we've been rehearsing, we've been writing, we've been just trying to stay sane really and stay safe.
We're now going to do a quick fire round.
Okay.
What's your favourite drink?
My favourite drink, anything you're buying.
What sport do you watch?
Oh, I'm not a sporty head, really. I spent my time in the music room, not the playing field. So as little as possible, really.
Where would you most like to play in the world?
At this point, after 2020, I'd play your back garden. So, honestly, we say anywhere and everywhere, and we mean it. We want to go all over the world, make as many friends as possible, and just play our music to as many people.
Favourite film?
That's a hard one. I'm trying to think about what I've got on the thing. I'm a big Star Wars nerd. I do love me Star Wars. So, yeah, just off the top of my head, we'll go Star Wars.
Favourite concert?
Again, been to loads. There's so many that are up there. But the time I felt most euphoric was 2010 when I saw AC/DC at Download. I was about 19, I think. I just joined Bad Touch. And, yeah, I think it was Black Ice Tour then. And it was absolutely mind-blowing. And it just reaffirmed that this is what I want to do in my life.
Anything else you want to mention?
Other than thank you to all our beautiful fans and friends and family and that for sticking with us through such a horrid year. Just please check out all our socials. We're at Bad Touch Rocks on Instagram and Facebook, and at Bad Touch Rocks UK on Twitter. And if you want full details of our tour coming up with Piston, it's badtouchrocks.co.uk. It's nice and easy. But just thank you, stay safe, be cool to each other, try and, be nice to each other. We're all going through the same at the minute. So yeah, just thank you for supporting the band, and we hope to see you all very, very soon.
Bad Touch's new album, Kiss the Sky, came out on the 19th of June 2020, and I'd like to thank Stevie for coming on Rock Chat with Trace. Now I'm talking to Rob. Hello, Rob, and thank you for doing the podcast.
Hiya, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.
How did you first get into music and start singing?
My mum got me a guitar when I was about 6, and I had piano lessons. I never had guitar lessons, but I'd pick it up and put it down over the years, and then started writing songs properly when I was about 18. I didn't really play piano anymore. Just ever since then, just started writing acoustic songs and started making bands, and yeah, I've been doing it for a long time now.
Who are your influences?
Led Zeppelin, Beatles, Stones, Guns N' Roses, Poison was the first album I ever bought. Flesh and Blood, yeah, that was like the first album that got me into rock, I suppose, when I was about 8. AC/DC.
How did you get involved in Piston?
Jack asked me to join when they first started out, but at the time I was looking for a band that was already established, and I don't know if you auditioned. I auditioned for Heaven's Basement, but Aaron got the job because I messed up the audition, but it wasn't meant to be. And then I went and Jack asked me to join. I said no, not yet. And then a couple of years later, he called and asked me again, and I said, let's meet up for a jam. And I went up to Stafford, Cannock, and we had a rehearsal, met up, and yeah, got on really well. We gelled, and that was it, really.
For those who have not heard of Piston, how would you describe the band and music?
Well, we're like a rock and roll engine, they say, start to finish. We just do a good rock show, you have to come to a gig.
Your new album Piston is out now. What is so special about the album?
Well, it's my first album I've ever actually given to the world after all these years doing music, so it's quite special to me. It's good, you know. But the next album, we're working on that now.
Your first single, One More Day, came out last year. Can you describe the song?
There's always another day to make things right, and you know. And that song I found the other day, the night before I went in to record the vocals. It was another song completely different, and that night I changed it, and I was in the mind to record both versions to show the band. And the producer was like, "Oh no, we've got to do that one." So the band had never even heard that version, and then we done it, and that was it, you know. So yeah.
Talk to me about Let Us Rise.
That's about humanity and humans all getting together and showing love and compassion and all being one and not being separate, and you know, just rising up together vibrationally, and everyone feeling good and looking out for each other, you know, how it should be, really.
How would you describe the lyrics to your songs?
They mean things to me, but they could mean things to other people. You know, it's quite generic how I write them. You know, you take what you want from it, you hear what you want from it. But yeah, it starts off as songs start off as about something, and then they change and morph into other things. And
how does the songwriting process happen?
Well, with Piston, it's I might write a song and put it to the band, and they'll add some bits to it, or they'll write a bit of music and then they'll send it to me, and then I'll work on a melody and the lyrics, and then we record it. So that's how we usually write. Because they live so far away, we don't really rehearse much.
You scrapped your original first album. Why did that happen?
And it was our first album. It was like everyone was waiting for it, and you know, we wanted it to be the best it could possibly be, and it just wasn't. And we all knew it. We all felt it to be true. But a lot of money went into it, and it was a hard decision to make. But I'm glad we did that decision. You know, we had to do it.
Did any of them songs come into the new album?
Yes. Leave If You Dare was recorded on the first set of songs, and I think that's it. Let Us Rise as well was recorded for that first batch.
How has it been during lockdown not being able to tour the new album?
Well, I haven't been able to work, and I'm a dad, so I'm a lone parent, so I was doing a lot of homeschooling throughout lockdown. I couldn't work, and it was weird, you know. But I'd done a lot of music, done a lot of writing. Yeah, I don't know. It was a nice break, really, you know. So, but yeah, this second lockdown, I'm still going to work. Kids are still going to school, so hopefully it won't affect me too bad this time. But the gigs, it's just, I don't know, tragic, really. You know, it's like, I don't know. They're just trying to wipe us out, you know, the artists, for some reason.
You've got a couple of shows, hopefully, next April and May. What can fans expect?
They could expect the same rock and roll show that they always get to see.
Any pre-show rituals?
Yeah, we all get together, have a hug. I jump up and down a little bit. I have a bit of alone time as well before I go.
How was it touring with Glenn Hughes and the Cult?
Yeah, that was amazing. Like a dream come true, that was. You know, I had a Sunday dinner with Ian Asprey, chatting to Billy Duffy. Super cool. Yeah, really cool.
What do you do in your spare time?
What do I do to relax? I play music, meditate. I do a bit of drawing sometimes. But yeah, I'm doing music a lot of the time, really. You know, when I'm not working, I'm just doing music.
How long have you been meditating for?
I don't know, about 10 years. You know, got into that. Yeah, it's quite hard to begin with, clearing your mind. But yeah, it's definitely beneficial. Then you get spurts where you don't do it, and then you remember, you think, I should be meditating, because like things start getting easier to deal with. So yeah, I try to do that.
What sort of sports do you like?
I don't really do sports. I used to play a bit of football when I was younger. Yeah, I just don't really do sports. I got into music, went the music route. You know, I'm not saying you can't mix the two, but I don't really do sports. Play football with my son a bit, you know, but that's it.
Anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, hopefully see you next year on tour. Hopefully the Bad Touch tour will be happening, and yeah, we can't wait to see you on the road.
The debut album Piston is out now, and I'd like to thank Rob for coming on Rock Chat with Trace.
Thanks for having me.